With Elation coming up in 4.x, I wanted to make a personal sided video on why I am so excited for that path. This, as I did mention, is a more personal sided video, so it's not really going to include the whole anti-Elation stuff. If you're someone that's relatively against Elation, you probably won't like this video. I'm just a guy on the internet, this is just my opinion, and if you get offended by that, you get the stare of shame.
Stuck grinding in Honkai Star Rail? Need stellar jades fast? We've got you covered. Head over to U7 Buy, your ultimate gaming hub for save fast and cheap in-game top-ups. Whether it's Star Rail or your other favorite games, U7 delivers instantly and players love it. Check out their Trustpilot reviews, they're actually top ranked. On the Honkai Star Rail direct top-up page, you can recharge your account in seconds. For example, 8080 Ononeric shards cost $99.99 in the official store, but on U7 Buy, you can see here it's way cheaper. Just pick your server, enter UID, pay securely, and boom, your account is instantly loaded. Want extra savings? Use code PRETSR at checkout for 5% off, perfect for last minute pulls, battle passes, or surprising a friend. And here's a bonus. If you spend $80 a month on U7 Buy, you can grab the Honkai Star Rail Express Pass for only 1 cent, which is nearly free. Click on the link in my description, recharge fast, save more, and keep blazing those trails.
Anyway, so Elation itself is the second path we're getting that is going to introduce a new mechanic, being the AHA instant, Elation damage, punchlines, so on and so forth. The reason I'm super excited for Elation with all these new mechanics is one, is it's going to be a whole new kind of refreshing playstyle, adding a new mechanic into the game. Unfortunately, it is only locked behind the Elation characters, but nonetheless, it's still a new mechanic we're going to have in our general playstyles, depending on if you are using the Elation team or not. So it's a nice little mix-up and stuff. The only thing I don't really like is the little honk that plays when AHA instant procs. That is going to get so annoying. But the whole AHA instant and the Elation skills going off, it's really like the next form of like follow-up attacks in my opinion. And follow-up attacks is one of, if not my favorite team style to still play. Facial team for me is probably still my overall most used team, and the Elation team is probably the closest I'm going to get to a other follow-up attack team besides the follow-up mechanic itself. And with the help of someone like Yao Guang, you are able to force proc it. Will there be more characters in the future that do that? I don't know, we'll have to see. So you can actually get quite a good amount of output off it, plus the whole mechanic and how fast it acts does scale off Elation character's speed. So in the future, it'll be able to act faster and work even more like a follow-up attack. Honestly, with all the effects going off, it's actually just really fun looking. I'm not even a TikTok user, but like the whole effects, the stuff that sparxie does, Yao Guang does, all the effects going off, all the animations, it seems really fun when all put together. And so I'm super excited to see how all the stuff goes together, and then as we get more Elation characters, you're going to have more characters going off when the Elation skills go off with the AHA instant. Because right now, the only time it goes off, you get to see the animations of Yao Guang and sparxie. In the future, we're going to get to see more and more, maybe even up to 4 characters if the team does have a full form Elation team. The more characters we get, the more animations we're going to see, and the more it will feel like a follow-up team. Of course, it's not actually a follow-up attack, it's not regarded as a follow-up attack, it's just the closest I'll probably ever get to another form of follow-up attack teams, since I don't know when the next follow-up attack team buff or the next follow-up attack team in general will be. Whatever it is, I will be there for it, but this is probably the closest I'm going to get. Not only that, but all the characters that are coming out that seem to be on the Elation side seem super cool to me. If you're in my Discord at all, by the way, you can join in the description below. My whole profile is set to Yao Guang. I am so excited for Yao Guang. She is just stunning. I love her design so much. I really hope I am going to like her a lot. I already plan on going E2S1 just off design, and I might even go further depending if I like her more. Not only that, but with dupes, she seems like she becomes a full-on proper DPS with the damage she can deal with her Elation skill. She does still have her problems with energy and stuff like that, so I do hope it fixes, which we'll find out eventually. But Yao Guang is first the most excited character I've been for since Evernight. Technically, Evernight wasn't too long ago, but nonetheless, I am very excited for Yao Guang. Sparxie, on the other hand, I'm not super excited for Sparxie. Her playstyle and her skill point consumption stuff, that looks really fun. But Sparkle as a character herself, I never was the biggest fan of. Like, I'm very indifferent about it, so I'm not like that excited for her. Maybe her new personality with the streamer stuff will make me change my mind. We'll see. I never really was into like the big streamer. I can't even say that because we have Guanifan in the game, and I love Guanifan. So I don't know if she ends up being like Guanifan, we'll see. Hey, she is fire, a streamer. Hey, we'll see. But Sparxie herself, I'm less hype about. I probably will just get her for the fact that she can build up a bunch of punchline, which is going to increase Yao Guang's damage. So I'm kind of reversing the roles here. But we also got the big reveal of all the other characters. Obviously, all of them are not going to be Elation. That's my guess at least. But on the top of my head, it was what? Ashville, Nihilux, Blade, Silverwolf, Yai. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Honestly, besides Silverwolf, because she looks like the same character really, I'm excited for all of them. And so any of them being Elation that buff the current team at all, that's going to be a benefit to me. Not only to get my neurons going when the Elation skills proc, but just the fact that I like them already from their design. For Blade specifically, I already like Blade a lot, so that's already a big benefit there. If he ends up being Elation Silverwolf, I also never really cared about, so if she's Elation, we'll see. But if Ashvale and Hilux, either of them are Elation, I love both their designs so much, especially Ashvale's. That's gonna be insane. So the actual roster lineup for the team is also a big benefit because I love obviously playing with characters that are also characters I really like. Like the characters I use very frequently, there is very few that I actually don't like as characters. And obviously the more I like them, the more I would want to vertically invest in them as well. So not only is the team super fun, kind of working like the closest I'll get to a follow-up attack team, and also just gets the neurons going. It also just happens to have really cool characters. Again, I'm super excited for Yaguang. And then for all the revealed characters, that's going to also be a benefit depending on who is Elation and not. And of course, these are not going to be the only characters we're going to get. This only really takes us up to like 4.3. So 4.4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There could be more. And spoiler alert, so this is just complete speculation. They are saying we might get SPs of Robin and Aventurine. And if you've been around my channel for longer than a year, so let's just go back to when 2.1 happened. If you've been on my channel ever since like the 2.x era, you know Aventurine is far and none my favorite character in the game, and it's not even close. Ya know ya boy is going to E6 S5 an SP Aventurine, no questions asked. God, if that's the case, by the way, please make him a fucking DPS. If he gets a sustain twice in a row, I am going to lose my fucking mind. You guys will probably see the most generational crash out. I'm gonna be consumed by the symbiote. I'm already wearing half black. I already practically am the symbiote. It's just the head that's left. Anyway, so if Aventurine is a sustain again, I'm going to lose my mind. But that's speculation. We'll see if we even get one in the first place. Overall, my only downside with Elation is kind of what people also don't like, and that's kind of just the general lack of team building for now. One of my favorite things to do in this game, especially with an account that is super invested in like mine, is to do really wonky clears. And if you've watched my videos in any way, shape, or form in a more consistent way, you've probably seen background footage of me running really whack teams such as Cyrene with Archer, the dot team without Kafka, a clear where I'm only running Evernight and Cyrene. You know the kind of whack stuff I love doing, and my Discord especially knows as well. I love doing those kind of clears. That is my favorite part of Starro. I love doing those whack clears. Unfortunately, Elation, it still can work with investment, but it's a lot harder to do. Because if we take Yao Guang as an example, she's more of like the sub DPS slash buffer kind of category. But her amp is really mid overall, all things considered. Her main things are focused on the Elation stuff, which is building Punchline, proccing Aha Instant, and doing damage off the Elation skill, which of course, that is not going to impact anyone in the game. She can kind of make someone forced to get buffed with the Elation damage if they consume a skill point thanks to her talent, but that's really it. So overall, the actual output I can get from Elation and team building wise is not that great. That's probably my only complaint right now. Like the rest of it, it's going to be super fun. I'm not necessarily opposed to having a new path to build a new team around that path. I never was. I wasn't with Remembrance either. But I definitely can understand why people are. But you know, for me personally, that was never really a problem because you guys have seen how much I pull. So yeah, Elation as a path. Not only does the actual team and the whole Elation skill, Aha Instant, all that stuff look super fun when it procs. Again, functioning as like a pseudo follow-up attack team, which is just going to get more and more and more with every Elation character on the team, since right now we'll just have 2 and you see their Elation skills, but once you get 3 you'll see a 3rd character every time, and if there's 4 and the whole team is Elation characters, that's gonna be 4 characters. Not only that, the team being super fun, it's also going to have a bunch of characters that I'm super excited about at the same time. And then to top it all off, it's going to potentially have Aventurine. That's I gotta mention that as its own like point, because that's massive for me. But yeah, again, when it comes to all that, my only complaint would be the lack of team building. But who knows, maybe we'll get a future Elation character that works really good without Elation characters. Like maybe they have good amp, or maybe they're just a sustain that sustains well. Don't be Aventurine Hoyo, I swear to God. We'll have to see about that. We're just getting into it. Like we haven't even gotten to 4.0 yet. The characters that are the first Elation characters are still getting worked on. They're going to get changes. So I am just hoping that they are going to cook for the units themselves, the units that come out later, and all we can really do is give it time and see what the path that does become. Anyway, that does bring this video to a close, just talking about why me personally am so excited for the Elation path. Comment down below if you're excited as I am for that path. I know a lot of people are iffy about it because of the whole stuff with the whole Elation path having its needs for other Elation characters specifically and not the whole team building thing. That's like people's biggest issues, and a lot of people are trying to think they're gonna skip the update. I know a lot of people are commenting they're gonna skip the entire Elation meta, but I already know these people are probably going to end up picking one or two later. It's usually how it goes. I know so many people that are like, oh, I'm skipping the remembrance stuff, and then next thing you know, they have high seed on their account because, yeah. Anyway, I'm not saying that's going to be all of you, of course. I'm just saying it's probably going to be the majority of the people saying they're skipping all of Elation. Anytime this happens in a game, this is usually what I see, so I'm just going off my personal experiences. This has happened so many times before in other games and not just Starro, which is also probably why I personally have a different outlook on it. Like, Starro wasn't my first gacha. I've had games like this where power creep is immensely more than Starro. I've had games where you need specific types to work with a lot of things. I've played many gachas before this. That's probably why I have a different outlook when it comes to all this stuff with Elation specifically, and even remembrance technically if you think about it. But yeah, again, that brings this video to a close. If you found this video enjoyable at all, dropping a like would be greatly appreciated. If you're new to the channel or haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon for future videos like this, along with all other types of Star Wars content. Check the description to join the Discord, and I'll see you later. Peace out. Also, comment down below if you want one of these, because I'm not gonna eat all these.